Minnesota took control in the second quarter, didn't look back. Luka Doncic had 37, but didn't get much help from his teammates. After the Lakers lost, Stephen A. had a message for Shannon on social media. Someone just texted me with this message to send directly to Shannon Sharpe. AAA, NWA, I don't care what Shannon has to say. Lakers ain't winning in 5. My goodness, Shannon, that thing has legs. People are making a cartoon, having a good time with it. All right, Shay, here's what I want to know from you. On a scale from 1 to 10, how bad was this loss for the Lakers?
For me, it was a 2, Stephen A., because I think these things, some of the things that they did wrong was easily correctable. I think they overhelped on Ant-Man, and if you go look at it, it was a lot of catch-and-shoot threes that wide open. There were shoot-around threes. Now, granted, Naz Reid hit a couple of shots, and they hit a couple of shots late in the shot clock. But I think the overcorrection, because there's like Ant-Man. The problem that you have if you overcompensate, and Ant-Man's going to beat a lot of people off the dribble. But I would rather let Ant-Man go for them 30s, maybe even 40, as opposed to giving those shooters wide open threes. Now, do I believe they're going to shoot that percentage from the three-point line again? I do not. Do I believe Naz Reid is going to go 6 of 9 or Mike Conley Jr., Jaden McDaniel shoot the ball as well as they did from the three-point line? Stephen A., I do not. But I also don't believe that LeBron James and AR is going to play as bad as they played. Luka did everything he possibly could. Luka played well. Now, we know that on the dribble, off the dribble, Luka's going to give up something on the defensive end. But now, LeBron's going to have to be efficient. Austin Reeves going to have to be efficient. And Rui, they got great contributions from their bench and their role players, and the Lakers did not. But I believe this is correctable. I expect to see a better performance, and we're going back to Minnesota tied 1-1.
You are hilarious. First thing, before I even get into my dollar tribe, Shannon Sharpe, before I even get into it, you know what I'm saying? And you love that tweet. And listen, I didn't give the name because the brother, you know, he's Hollywood. I didn't know if he wanted me to give his name or not. But he said, send this to Shannon. AAA, NWA, I don't care what Shannon has to say. Lakers ain't winning in 5. Damn it, I got it memorized. Shannon, before I get into my soliloquy, my brother, I thought you were supposed to be at the game Saturday night. Did you make the game Saturday night? Because you said you was going to be there. You said you was going to be there. When you talk about Lakers in 5, you said you was going to be there. Did you make the game, Shannon?
Stephen A., my money jumped funny. I couldn't make it.
Your money? Your money? You're hilarious. What a lie. What a lie. Here's the deal, though. But here's the deal, though, man. Listen. The Lakers couldn't do anything right. You know the guys outscored 25-6 on the fast break, right? That means they want to get back on defense, right? You know that, right? Let's get that out the way. You know they got destroyed in the paint. You know that, right? That was a problem. I mean, when you think about Minnesota, 19 of 27 of 27 threes, that's 70%. 70% of those threes, 19 of the 27 threes were considered wide open. That means there wasn't a defender in the vicinity. What the hell was going on defensively with the Los Angeles Lakers? We can't figure that out. I wonder why. I'm looking at them being held to 40% shooting. I'm looking at them being held to 30%, 37% shooting from three-point range, all right? Why? Because you see those long defenders that the Minnesota Timberwolves have? That's a bit problematic. But maybe not for LeBron over the course of an entire series because he is LeBron James. But AR might be a different matter. We got to take that into consideration. One thing nobody brought up, Shannon, do you know there were times when AR was guarding Julius Randle? I mean, getting beat up. That's asking a lot for that young brother. That's asking a lot because Julius Randle is a powerful brother. Naz Reid, even though he sits up there and he can spot up and shoot threes, and he looks relatively slim, that's a long, strong brother. You can't just put anybody on him. You can't just think that you're going to score on cats like that. McDaniels, Randall, Naz Reid. I mean, these brothers can defend now. They can get up in you, okay? And then you brought up Ant-Man. How you going to you talk about they focus too much on Ant-Man. Ant-Man played a fundamentally sound game. And even though the Lakers, by the way, they didn't lose, y'all. They got their ass kicked. Let's be very, very clear and specific about what happened to the Los Angeles Lakers. Did you know that Ant-Man sat up there and was just missed the fundamentals, made every right play, trusted his teammates, didn't panic, right? And the ass kicking that the Lakers suffered was with him being out for about a quarter because of the cramps. You're lucky he wasn't in there. It would have been worse. Okay, now I would warn you. I would say this to you, Shannon, and I'm issuing a warning, my brother, because Ant-Man is different. As I've been telling y'all, he's a bit different. I'm issuing a warning to Shannon Sharpe over the national television airwaves. You saw what he did to KD last year, right? Remember what he did to KD, and remember how he chirped while doing so? The Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, is the type of dude that sees Tinseltown and sees the purple and gold and sees the stars in the stands and everything like that. Because you know he acted in Hollywood, did a great job in that movie Hustle, right? I mean, this is what he brings up. You know the brother can act, right? So he saw all of that, and he sees Luka and LeBron wearing the same uniform. And he's like, yo, I got an opportunity to take both of them out. This might eclipse what I did last year. That's how he thinking. And he greedy, Shannon.
And it would.
He's greedy. He ain't somebody that's just gonna nibble on for. He's gonna chomp. He's gonna chomp. He's a shark in blood infested waters. He's smelling it right now. Lakers better win. They better get themselves together because this brother's coming. He's not going to fade away. Let's be very clear about that. Very clear.
Well, I think the thing is, Stephen A., is that when you go on the road, if you're a basketball team and you're going to be there, your first 2 games are always going to be, if you're on the road, it's going to be at the opposing team's arena. Well, I packed for 3 days. So since I'm going to be here, I might as well, like you said, get greedy, take sweepstakes. I might as well win both of them. All you can do is hope to win one game, and that way the home team, the road team wins. Now that we have a series. Well, why not, since I'm here, I got to be here for another night. I might as well go ahead and get the second one. And guess what? I won't have to pack to come back. So that's the way Ant-Man thinks, and you're right, Stephen A. If he were to take down the Lakers, it would be a bigger accomplishment than what he did when he took down Book and KD, considering that considering that LeBron and Luka is a bigger pelt on his wall than what those guys would be. But I expect LeBron James to play much better. I expect Austin Reeves to play better. Luka did it right. But like you said, Stephen A., Ant-Man did not have an efficient night shooting the basketball, but he had 9 assists. So that tells me he didn't force anything. And those guys rewarded because when the assist total goes up, that means somebody is finishing the play. Naz Reid, Mike Conley, McDaniel, they did an unbelievable job. But I don't expect to see that. Now, we know the Lakers, Stephen A., if you go back, and I'm going to finish on this. If we go back and study the Lakers, we know at some point in time, they're going to give up a big quarter. Normally, it's the 3rd or the 4th. What broke the game open is that they got outscored 38-20 in the second quarter after having a 7-point lead in the first. So we know this about the Lakers. At some point in time, they're going to get lazy and they're going to have to give up a big quarter. But I expect GOAT James to be GOAT James on Tuesday night, and we go back to Minnesota tied 1-1.
Molly, do you notice how, I've never seen Shannon sound so eloquent. I mean, he
so
sounds so
focused
eloquent
and so
in his
serious.
explanation.
You can't even crack
you
a
see how
smile.
his explanation? He's still got the 5, like they gonna
Shannon,
win
you
4
don't
straight,
believe
right?
that. You can't even put that 5 up with a straight face. Stop lying.
Molly, Anthony Edwards shot 36% from the field.
Anthony Edwards.
Julius Randle committed 7 turnovers. And they say Anthony Edwards missed a quarter because of cramps, and they still blow him out. This brother, and he sounds so eloquent, like, you know what, let me explain it. He did everything but say, we got our ass kicked. You know, he did everything but say that, but it's okay. It's okay.
That was obvious, but I needed to state why.
Stephen A., let me ask you this. So Shannon characterized this loss by the Lakers as a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. What number would you give it?
No. I'm gonna say it's not a 10, but I'd give it like a 7. Here's the reason why. Because the Minnesota Timberwolves, practically no one picked them. Primarily because of what we saw Luka do to them as a Dallas Maverick in the conference finals last year, where he averaged nearly 34. He just gave it to them. And so you're thinking about him with LeBron, the way they've been playing, and you're saying Minnesota don't have this. But here's the problem. The Lakers lapse defensively. They don't have real size on their front line. You played Rudy Gobert 24 minutes. Nobody expected him to play that much. And literally, you were expecting them schematically to change things up from what they did in the past, where they had him coming out and guarding the perimeter at times. They didn't change. They still did it this go-round, okay? So when you look at their size, when you look at a McDaniels, when you look at a Naz Reid, when you look at a Rudy Gobert, and to a lesser degree, a Julius Randle, who's a legit 6'8", hey, it is what it is. Lakers got problems. Got problems. This is not an easy series.
More on this one later, Stephen A. Let's get to your Knicks, because I was a little worried about them, but then they handled their...
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng. Và hôm nay bọn mình sẽ có tiêu đề là chính sách. Hôm nay tiêu đề của mình có là màu vàng. Ôi giời ơi.
Lương bố tháng 4 nữa đấy. Lương bố quần áo nữa.
Ôi giời ơi.
Không biết làm gì.
Tháng 4 mới lấy của tháng 3 là so tháng
Sao đi có tháng 4 nữa?
không, bọn mình làm đến tận mùng 2 tháng 4. Nó giả hai cái đấy giả sau. Chỉ đến tận mùng 5. Không, nó để cách đấy. Mọi người, đây là một trà hồng.
Bây giờ đi đây. Đây đi về đi đây. Đi sang cái tận này. Đi chặt về.
Đi rồi. Tí lúc nào có tiền đấy, đi phẫu thuật cắt cơ chân.